everyone. Dave here, back with another episode, joined by Tyra Day. This is Ty's Take. Hello, Ty. I think on the last one, I might have left it on a little bit of a downer. I don't remember, but I think it was we kind of went out on a little bit of a bum note, like, oh man, because we've been talking about war. So I'd like to wrap up the topic of war and war on Earth and what that means to our space future and so forth, and um, try to end this one on a positive note, and then we'll stop talking about war for a while because
I think that's a
you
great
know
idea.
it's important, but at the same time, yeah, we should focus on other things. So let's continue. We'll let Ty continue with whatever questions you still have on this, and we'll kind of wrap it up.
Right. So I personally like how we've been like breaking down the complexities of Earth. And I know for
Hmm.
me, it really helps me understand more how it works. And I think it would help people, who are involved in all this also like kind of break down their own lives.
Yeah.
How do you think we could make it simpler for people just to like think more simply so they're not always involved in everything going on?
You know, and I have given that some thought because we have been proposing some relatively simple concepts that in practice would be very hard to execute because of those complexities. And kind of the conclusion that I came to is that it starts with each of us. And that's really where we begin. And probably the simplest thing possible we could each do is to be nice. And if each of us were doing that, if each of us were just being nice as much as we can, that alone would have this extrapolating effect everywhere. Again, sounds simple to say it, but honestly, I don't know whether you don't realize it because you're not from around here, but on our just every single earth-based religion that we have, every philosophy, everything that going all the way back, this is such a fundamental rule. It's actually more human than it is based on a certain religion or a belief system. And it's something that we often call the golden rule. And the golden rule is basically do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And I don't know if
Really?
you had something like that similar on Proxima B. I'm guessing you did because I feel like it's a very human thing, you know?
Kill me, I kill you. That was basically our motto.
Did it? Perfect. I love that example. That,
But I'm tired.
yeah, yeah. No, that actually that works too. That works too. An eye for an eye. Yep. But the concept is the same. Do unto others what you would like them to do unto you. If you don't want people killing you, then don't kill other people. I mean, that would be one way to look at that. Um, and that scales. It definitely scales all the way up, individuals, groups, nations, cultures. And so that I think would be the message, and that's where I think all of us can start if we want to really take it to its simplest form. Be nice. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, absolutely. For those, since war is a thing,
Hmm.
for those that maybe I don't want to say don't want to be nice, but maybe are more inclined to argue
Right.
with
Okay.
people.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good way to put it. And honestly, and I think this is also a human trait, and I think it's true everywhere here, Proxima B, wherever you happen, wherever you might be. There are going to be, though, that small percentage of people who don't want to go along with that concept. Um, there are those, unfortunately, who win when the rest of us are fighting among ourselves. That's true on the playground. That's true in the schoolyard. That's true, just about at any level. There's going to be that small segment of people that are going to not want to see that sort of cooperation because it's not in their best interest. That's a sad fact, but I believe it's a true fact. I believe that is
Yeah.
the case. Really, the way around that is to just flourish and prosper, forge ahead, push forward with our goals, be nice. That doesn't mean you can't be nice just because other people aren't being nice. You be nice. You'd be surprised how many, it's a much, much larger percentage of us that want to be nice and that want to achieve, positive gains and that want to make progress. So you do your part. And as you do that and others do theirs, it has a cumulative effect. And eventually, if enough of us are doing this and focusing on the positive and working on positive gains, the people who would prefer that we don't, there's a lot less of them. So they'll just basically fall by the wayside,
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
feel I think it's a great idea. I do feel like it's a little bit of like almost a fairy idea of steering people away from the fighting.
Yeah.
Do you think that's true here or no?
I do. Again, we're like we talked about in another episode, we're trying to frame our ideal, the perfect ideal, knowing that we're pretty far from that ideal. And if we're working toward it, we're going to land somewhere in the middle. And that's still going to be great. That's still going to be progress, still going to be way better than what we're doing now. So I do think the idea of like a perfect ideal where we're all working together is pretty unrealistic. And I don't know if that will achieve that. We're not talking world peace, just some general badly defined ideal like, oh, world peace, or we want to, have everybody in harmony and holding hands and, working together towards the same common goals. That's not what we're suggesting. And I really don't think that's possible. And again, I honestly don't think that would be the best solution. I do think some competition is very good. As long as we're focused on space is the mission. That's about as big a mission as you could name for anyone. And clearly at this stage, we do still have a long way to go. So yeah. Did I leave that a little more positive? I feel like I'm still a little bit negative. Let me just try to wrap it up with a positive.
Well, so like we're not really trying to just straight handle Earth. It's get out further so that
exactly.
Alfred.
Right. That that's basically
Successful. Yeah.
Again, I think you've done a better job summarizing it than I have. That really is what we're talking about. If you've got a really big objective, and space is about as big of an objective as you could get, if you've got something really big that we can focus on, that the majority of us can focus on, that we can work towards, that's incredibly challenging, that's very difficult, that will generate the kind of positive energy that is going to solve a lot of other things just as a result. I mean, if we're working towards space, something huge, if we all have a huge goal that we're working towards, other things will get resolved along the way. So, I mean, yes, we still need to focus on doing things, well here and being good to each other here and solving the issues that we have on Earth. But if we're focused on a big game, a lot of these other things that tend to bog us down will get solved just as a matter of course. So, yeah. So I think that's basically the underlying objective. So that's a little more positive, huh? Yeah. Good. I mean, war is not a positive thing ultimately. So it's kind of hard to make a positive out of it, but I think we've done a pretty good job. So we will switch from that and we'll end this episode here. And then in our next one, we'll go a little bit more big think and a little bit more, looking out instead of in. So
we'll steer ourselves away from war.
There you go. That's right. We'll start right here. Keep it close to home. Start with ourselves, and then that'll spread.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Very good. Well, and we will see everyone in the next episode.